But just to put a period on the sentence here, while maybe your promo language might be reasonable creative control, maybe Kev, if you say, I don't want to wear this gear, I want to go the difficult, that might be some creative control of your character. Uh, Telling a promoter he cannot have his belt back when he books the end of your title run is not reasonable creative control.
Especially
My
when,
opinion. And
well,
apparently Vince's, which is the only one that
I
matters.
also think that when it comes down to it, um, and I know this for a fact, we didn't have backup belts back then.
Oh, so that was literally the only
That,
heavyweight belt.
yeah, that. But when I lost to Brett, I gave him like that belt, and then it went to Sean, and I told Sean, I said, Sean, let me get that belt from you. He had already changed it out because the one that I had brought home and I showed it to my mom, and my mom had
I
held it.
remember that in the
So
hospital, right?
I wanted that belt back to keep for that reason that my mom had put her hands on it before she passed. And then it was just like, no, it got fucking, it got traded out. And I'm like, well, fuck, I wish somebody would have told me. I would have fucking grabbed the belt.
Were things that tight back then where they had to trade the belt out? Were they
Dude,
melting down the metal?
when you're on top and you're eating a ham sandwich, I mean, come on. They didn't fucking. There wasn't no name tags on none of the belts. That motherfucking that winged eagle just fucking went to the next cat,
Right,
and it wasn't like that motherfucker moved around much.
right.
So
Yeah, and the other point that is often brought up was that Brett still had 2 weeks left. He was leaving in December, but that was the last pay per view, and Vince wanted the switch on pay per view. Just didn't work. Not that Vince has to give anybody a reason why he wants it to happen at Survivor Series, but if that's my last pay per view, and that's where I want my title switch before my main guy goes to another company, that's where it's going to happen. And I don't think it's reasonable creative control to say, I'm going to tell my boss he's not allowed to write the end of his title run. It's always the boss's belt. It's wrestling, everybody. And that's it, guys.
yeah, but I don't know, when you're grinding day in day out, I was thinking because I was thinking today like low lights, like the low lights of my wrestling career. I remember we were in Boston and we flew, the whole crew flew at 6 a.m. So we basically left the bars and went to the airport because there's no real reason to get a fucking hotel room. And I remember sleeping on like going to the gate. I think Pac slept in front of the door. So that way there when the flight attendants came, like they couldn't leave us because he had to get his dead body up and then he'd wake us up,
Right.
you know. So, but the whole crew was, sunglasses, just like laid out, getting whatever sleep we could. Got on the plane, slept the whole way to San Antonio, and then got our rental cars, drove to the building. I don't know if we had I don't know if it was that rumble that we did from San Antonio, but it was the old Hemisphere Arena, the old one that before they built the Alamo Dome or any of those other stadiums down there. It was that one that it's the exact same building in Shreveport, the exact same building in Little Rock, Arkansas. Architecturally, all three buildings are the same.
Hmm.
And that hemisphere down in San Antonio had questionable fucking ventilation. And I remember getting there and everybody walking out. The ring was already set up, and there was like 23 guys sleeping in the ring. Like that's like, and I was just thinking to myself, I just was like waking up and like your neck and your lower back is just killing you. And like I remember Bam Bam was sleeping right next to me. I remember I woke up and we just kind of did one of those deals where you kind of like look over and then it's just like a slight roll of the eyes, like, can you fucking believe this? And then like try to go back down, like I gotta get some more sleep.
How is there not a visual of this? This is before the cell phone era, obviously,
Yeah.
but nobody snapped one.
No, but
Oh,
I fucking if anybody out there, any of the boys that were in that fucking ring, I guarantee you, if they hear this story or it's passed through to them, they'll go, oh, like yeah, that was rotten, like
mm-hmm.
that was a really fucking rotten, and that was life back then.
Yeah.
So fuck, man, like you could see why if that's your living conditions, fucking where you drop the belt's pretty fucking important. It's just not like
Where you drop the belt when you've got 2 weeks left and it's the last pay per view. I don't even think it's a discussion. Any worker in the business would know that if you're going to drop the strap, you got a couple of weeks, you've given your notice, you got your other place lined up, it happens to be the rival, the direct rival, in a very contentious time, and you got one pay per view left a couple of weeks before you're leaving. That's where you drop it.
well, Sean lost his smile and didn't drop the belt.
That was worse than dropping a belt. Losing your smile versus losing a belt.
Yeah, but I'm just
It's
saying
much
though that
worse.
he didn't lose. So what if Brett just fucking didn't lose and then just fucking they put it up for a tournament? He didn't take it to WCW.
You know why that wouldn't have worked? There's only one reason. Vince said so.
Well, I'm not arguing that point. I'm just saying other people fucking didn't do fucking jobs on the way out. Like I wasn't gonna put Warrior over on fucking Raw. I said no.
I'm on another low light from your career. Sleeping in the ring, one.
We what was it, Lake George maybe? We had TV, and I remember we got up there and there was some kind of fucking festival, fucking the Gourd Festival. I don't know what the fuck it was. It was something up at Lake George.
Jeep Week?
No,
Oh, that's by you.
and there were no hotel, no motel or hotel, nothing. And of course, you don't have cell phones. So when you drive up there, you have no idea. You just all of a sudden it's like no vacancy, and now you're in the middle of where you need to be, and now you're working your way back out trying to find something, and you can't find anything. And I remember Perfect. It was me, Scott, Perfect, and I don't know if it was Kiddo. It was either Sean or Sean, but there was four of us. But Perfect was one of the four, and I remember sleeping on the fucking hood of the car with my back against the windshield, and the Lex Express drove by us,
Oh.
and fucking Lex was just tan and fucking you
That's
talking about
exactly how I'd have written that scene in the movie.
you talking about muteness. Nothing against Lex, man. It was just one of these things they like, oh.
What was that bus? I mean, why? Why was the bus, I guess? I know they
think
turned it into him doing like a tour across the
yeah,
country.
yeah. No, I think what it was they wanted to see how much heat that putting one of the talents on a bus would get.
While you're
So
sleeping in the rain.
so later on, as the business progressed, and the top guys all got fucking coaches, they would know exactly how the bottom feeders felt.
Unbelievable, Roma.
So
Instagram, a wrestling historian, Mr. Nash, did you consider putting the WCW championship on Scott Hall when you were the booker? Thanks in advance.
I was never really the booker. I was just kind of in charge. Um, I didn't have creative control.
I was gonna say I
Uh,
knew you come up
yeah,
a reasonable amount.
yeah. You can't book when Hulk has creative control. It's called rewriting TV. Fucking 45 minutes before we go live. I think I was more at that point. I think I was trying to get Scott back on TV. I think he'd gotten some shit and had gotten ousted,
Uh,
if I'm not mistaken.
Next. Liet, did you train differently for a match, and which one? Did you ever have to switch up your regiment because you wanted a different appearance for something?
To do my 5 moves? No,
Well, maybe you were, maybe for the latter match you wanted more,
less brain cells.
more cardio, maybe for all the climbing that would happen.
No, you train the same for everything.
Is that
It's you dictate it. It's not a real fight. If you get blown up, you fucking cut the guy off. You throw him outside. And as you're throwing him through the fucking second and third rope, you tell him, "I'm blown up. Stay out there till I fucking come get you."
wrestling's not a real sport?
No,
So you mean like in the NFL, Troy Aikman doesn't have creative control of the game?
he does if he's calling it.
I'm shocked. All right. Who's next?